Hello, people.
We
There.
are live. We are live. It says you are live. You are live. I got so many cameras. I can't. I forget where to look. It's
You got to get lights on them.
I got lights. Believe me, I got lights.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's one ish on a
Why you have a
Wednesday
light behind you in your shot,
because that's it. Cause I like it.
though? Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway, go.
this is watching Amazon time, isn't it?
It is
It's time to do
Wednesday,
what?
1 o'clock.
We have never hit one exactly yet,
Yeah,
but
that's your fault, though. I'm
oh
always ready.
yeah, okay. We won't even go into that. Oh look, I just got a little notification. It says Brent Leary is live.
On
Gotta like
what?
that. That's on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday I couldn't even get live on LinkedIn. I don't know what was going on.
It's probably something they were doing.
Probably I blame them.
Why not?
All right. So who are you?
John Lawson, the bold one, the cold one, colder ice, but we're working on that.
Yeah, we're working on it. Let me give myself the full shot so I can say
So you can bring in your light.
I'm Brent Leary.
Yes.
There it is.
Well,
Oh,
why didn't I get a full shot?
well, you don't deserve one yet,
Oh,
but
that's bullshit. You
you
know
keep
what? We're going to work on this damn production.
you keep working at it, and you might just get your full shot back. Maybe.
Yeah,
But as they say, I'm the one in control, and my
not
name
really.
is not Janet. Yeah, see, I even got the shot that makes it look like I'm really listening to you intently. See, like I'm staring, like you're saying anything that's worth this amount of attention. I don't know, but hey.
Okay.
It's the thought that counts. All right. Yes. All right. Watching Amazon.
Wasting my damn time. You better come on now.
I'm ready. What you got?
All right. First story I want to talk about is the United States Postal Service. And actually, both of my stories are around our president. So,
What else is new?
yeah, not that one. I don't think I posted it, but it was,
Well, I already posted one from like a couple of days ago
yeah, it was
where
a few days ago.
he was saying, "Hey, I'm not giving them no money
Right.
unless they up the cost on Amazon."
Right.
Just one company,
One company.
not putting together any kind of policy that looks at anybody else. Just one company, and
One
if they
company.
don't,
No. And the deal is, though, he's saying that if they don't do that,
right?
then he's not going to okay the funding for the thing that brings old people medicine.
Yeah, it's just
I mean,
it's
there
so
are
petty.
so many things that depend, literally, not talk about business wise, but health and safety wise, on the United States Postal Service. Like, you're going to just threaten to shut that down because you got a beef with Bezos. I don't get that, and how that just
How do you not get that? I mean, we've been talking about
no,
this for
I don't get how that gets over and nobody checks that, nobody covers that, nobody pushes back at that, and gives him some right guidance on this is not the United States Postal Service is not an arm of Amazon. You know,
right.
it is how every old person gets their check. It's how most of us get our medications delivered. It's become very paramount during this lockdown phase, but of course we're back open now, so that doesn't matter. But I mean, it's absolute asinine and suicidal, really, to go along and allow this kind of foolishness to float out in the world as if that's an actual rational idea. That's my problem.
Wait a minute. Who said anything about it being rational?
Yeah, but I mean, again, I just don't understand why anybody's not. I mean, that should just cause people to just go, "Are you kidding me? That is impossible." No loan.
Well, he says a lot of things, and when I say he, I mean, the current resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. He says a lot of things that don't actually get done. I mean, let's just face it. I don't think there's any way in the world that he can hold up the U.S. Postal Service with some of the things you just said, because he wants them to raise the prices solely on one company. That is that even constitutional? I mean, can you make a policy that's just that specific to only one company?
He does. Yes, it is constitutional. He doesn't have to make a policy. They're trying to make a policy. He's saying he won't sign the policy.
It's not going to happen. There's, like, as you said, there's too many people who are dependent on the United States Postal Service for necessary and in some instances life-threatening reasons. So there's absolutely no reason. Now, here's what I think could happen. He could put such a fuss up, more than he has. And Amazon is like, you know what? We're about ready now. We can handle what we need to handle. We don't really need these guys. We thought it was a good exchange. We get a good deal, and they get some more revenue flowing in. It's working. We're not going to take the hit for all their shortcomings, but we'll throw them some work, and it'll help us and it'll help them. He's threatening that, and if Amazon walks away, where's that revenue going to come from that they're going to lose?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I gotta look it up, but I don't know how much revenue they actually generate. I mean, it's substantial. I don't know if it's, revenue neutral or not, or if it's revenue positive, or if it's revenue negative.
And it's got to be revenue positive, because they have so many fixed costs. Their employee base and the benefits that they have to pay they're going to have to pay those benefits whether Amazon is giving them some business or not. Those are sunk costs. So any revenue that they walk away from, all that means is costs are still the same, revenue's gone. This is what I think is going to happen. He's going to put up fuss. Amazon is going to be like, why do we have to keep dealing with this?
Well, I mean, as of 2018, those are the last numbers I've seen. 40% of its shipping was done through United States Postal Service.
What as of what, 2018?
2018. And it was a per package cost that works out to roughly $2. So, I'm not really sure how much you know what I mean? I'm not. It's if they're making a lot of money, or if they're making money, it's not like huge amounts comparatively.
I'm just saying any revenue that they generate over what they were making with all the fixed costs they have with their employee base, anything they make, if you take it away, it's just going to make the deficit bigger. That's the bottom line. And I can see this happening, because if I'm Amazon, I'm like, look, do we really need this? I mean, we're building our own infrastructure to do this anyway.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're ready. I don't think they're ready for that. No, I don't think they're ready.
They may be
Amazon's infrastructure is not ready. They weren't even ready for toilet paper.
They may be, that has nothing to do with the delivery. That to me is more.
Everything has to do with
that was more of not having it. They didn't have enough toilet paper for the scale that they got hit with.
Well, I'm saying everything. I think had to do with delivery, fulfillment.
I think it had to do with having the actual goods. I don't think they had the toilet paper to fulfill it.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? Neither one of us know, so it doesn't matter.
But we know the things that they have in store, they still get it to you pretty quickly, even now.
Even now, through the postal service.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if this gets pushed too far, they might have to. They already did things like, hey, we don't want to take as many orders because we're going to make sure we are able to handle what we currently have right now. I can see them taking a one step back in order to go 3, 4, 5 steps forward.
Let's put it like this. It won't put Amazon out of business.
Not at all.
No, it won't. Let's put it like that. They'll just ramp up faster. They'll hire more people and, but, the deal is, the United States Postal Service has been recording record loss. And I think we could actually look, if I did some research, over how much they lost prior to this deal than after the deal, because they're still not making money. So,
So Alan, my buddy Alan Berkson, he's always good for a comment. And he says, this entire discussion about the United States Postal Service is misguided. The conservative elements of the federal government think USPS has to break even, which it hasn't in I don't know how long. Right. Tell me what other federal service breaks. I mean, first of all, the Postal Service is unique in its sense because they do generate their own revenue.
Yeah,
it's not like
they're like a managed business,
right? It's not like they have to get budget approved, significant budget approved to handle the whole operation. I mean, they do generate their own revenues to go along with the budget that they get handed. But I'm just saying, this is nonsense. And if I were Amazon, I would just be getting tired of dealing with it, to be honest. Maybe they can wait until maybe there'll be a change in November. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're trying to see what's going to happen. But this isn't helpful.
No. And, for the United States, actually for the United States people of the United States need their mail. I mean, we need the mail.
Look, we're already getting shorted on things. I mean, they're already threatening our meat supply because of the supply chain. Do we need anything else to have people afraid of missing out on? I mean, this is just not helpful. Not helpful. And just spiteful and stupid. Yeah, that kind of sums it up.
It really is. I mean, there is an issue with the United States Postal Service that needs to be addressed. Does it need to be addressed right now? And here's another, okay, I could go on and on, but I'll give you one more thing. I got my buddy got on a plane yesterday. He flies from Atlanta. Yeah, yesterday. He flies from Atlanta to go home to see his mom in Ohio. So he documents the whole thing. He was on the early flight.
Oh, was that the guy that we were at that did the filming for us?
Yeah, Charles. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a good guy.
You see his photos, right? So it was empty. The airport, that was Terminal A he was in. Empty. He's on a Delta flight, and he takes a picture, and it's like 15 rows back, there's one other head on this plane.
Hey, that's good spacing.
Right? Exactly. When he gets off in Columbus, he sends me a shot because I'm from Columbus, and I remember in the airport where you pick up, there's no cars, nobody. Normally there's a police guy doing this, and you know how that is. So the deal is that somebody asked me, it's like, why are they flying planes with that kind of capacity? And I'm like, because there's United States Postal Service mail in the cargo. And that's why they're doing that.
Right.
It's so ridiculous for them if you're going to save, the only reason why we're sending and saving the air travel is simply because we can't survive United States Post Office without commercial air travel, because that's how mail gets back and forth. So it's just, the whole thing is dumb to just, there's too many dominoes that would fall.
Right. You could have just left it at the whole thing is dumb.
The whole thing is dumb.
Because it really is. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Anyway, you got a comment from Trish Carey. I wonder how much volume Amazon generates for the United States Postal Service. That's a good question. I don't know. That would be really interesting to see just how much business Amazon is for the United States Postal
I
Service.
will give you one example, though, enough that the United States Postal Service started doing Sunday delivery. That's how much.
That tells you how important this deal is to a certain extent. Because you're right, they weren't doing that before.
That's right. That's right.
So, and it's not just for Amazon for Sunday delivery now. So don't they have other businesses that came after Amazon with them?
I don't get mail on Sunday.
You don't get mail, but I mean, it's not just your orders from Amazon to get delivered on Sunday, is it? I mean,
I don't order from anybody. Not that you know what I'm saying? I don't remember getting any packages, but I really don't order a whole lot from others.
I think I might have ordered from somewhere else and I did get it on Sunday, but I can't remember because it would just be like one out of many things. And most of the things are from Amazon.
Hey, you guys, if you ever get one on Sunday that's not from Amazon, let us know. Please go to our Facebook page and just hit us up in the message. That'd be interesting to know.
By the way, hello, Ellen Bloomer. She says hello.
Hello, Ellen.
You know Ellen, right?
I do.
I don't know her, but I just wanted to say hello. I think she's been with us a couple of times. So.
Absolutely. That's nice. That's so awesome.
It really is.
I know.
Nice. All right. Here's another one.
All right, what you got?
The government versus Amazon is going on. There was an article that came out. I'm trying to find it. That came out around. Oh, the article that said that Amazon is listening to their sellers and then creating their own, products to sell.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Like, who didn't know that?
I'm about to say, like, duh. What? How is that news?
That's been going on for years. That has been going on for years.
Slow news day.
Where do they think the Amazon Basics line came from? I mean, it's come on, we know that. But all of a sudden, it's like now there's a guy in Congress who wants to have some kind of an investigation, a congressional hearing on this.
I thought they already had congressional hearings on this. That's where he got it from. He got it from the last congressional hearing on Amazon.
I mean,
it's definitely an issue.
It's an issue, but I mean, can we honestly say that it's only Amazon that's doing that? I mean,
yeah, it is only Amazon that's doing that. I don't know any other marketplace that makes their own products based on your product.
Well, let's look at like traditional markets. You go to a market, they got name brand stuff, and then they got their own stuff there. I mean, can they be sued for selling like Laura Lynn brand milk alongside of the other real national brands?
No, but it's still not quite the same.
It's not like they showcase. Well, I don't know. Maybe does Amazon showcase their stuff over the others?
We talked about that.
But maybe
but
that
you make a good point. Kroger's could showcase, their products over top of somebody else's by giving them, in cap space versus, so I think that's a good point. I'm trying to think because Kroger's owns the customer like Amazon owns their customer.
They own the placement. I mean, Kroger could showcase their stuff.
Yeah, wherever they want.
They do, but they could. They could eventually do it.
Yeah, wherever they want. I'm just trying to think, is that apples to apples? It seems like it, but somewhere in the back, I don't think it's the exact same thing.
Well, all right. So here's the difference. I just thought about it.
What's that?
So on the Amazon site, you have a category, you have brands in the category, including Amazon Basics. Well, third-party sellers who have the same brand, have the same product, they probably have more of a beef than, let's say, a brand that's selling on Amazon, and Amazon also has their brand alongside of it. Because third-party sellers, they are the one that are the transaction is supposedly theirs, and then Amazon gets commission. Whereas with, like at the store, at the market, that stuff is all wholesale. It's not direct to consumer if you buy it in the market.
What do you mean it's wholesale?
Well, they don't. The market, doesn't the market get this stuff wholesale?
No,
like they buy it in bulk.
No,
and then or how does it work? Because I have no idea.
Nah, they borrow that in.
So it's consigned, basically,
for lack of a better term. But yeah, you sign up for the shelf space. There is a, it's like they get a right for return. If that shit doesn't sell, we gonna return it.
Well, and so Amazon kind of, they penalize you if you are trying to sell stuff that ain't moving.
Yeah, I mean, they charge you for the shelf space, basically, for the warehouse space.
So there's a lot of similarities now that I think.
There are. I'm really still, my head's still spinning on what the difference is. But of course, there's so many levers that Amazon, it's just not a fair playing field. That's all. I don't know if they're doing something completely nefarious. I think from a governmental standpoint, they're saying to some extent, if we just let this continue on, then Amazon's going to control all.
Well, that I think that's where it is. That's the big difference. Like there's a lot of enough different markets and market chains where that no one can own the market, whereas Amazon is by far the biggest seller online.
And another thing is, for every Kroger's, there's a Walmart and a Target.
That's what I mean. So it's like if I make milk, I don't have to be like solely dependent on Kroger. I could go to Publix. I could go to Walmart, Sam's Club. Whereas when you're online, yeah, you can go to a lot of places theoretically,
right?
But we all know where the business is made. So maybe that's the difference. To me, that's a big difference. That is a huge difference.
Definitely. So,
what was that one we did a while ago where the company volunteered to take their business off of Amazon for taking a stand on something, and they lost like 90% of their business or something. And then they said, well, maybe we need to go back.
Well, there's been a few that have done that, but I mean, some have done it very successfully as well. So I know that what's those shoe guys that make those open toe shoes that I never wear?
I don't have any.
I know. I was going to say it's a white thing. You wouldn't understand, but I can't think.
I don't know if that's the case either.
It is. Saying. Oh no, trust me. Look, there is a demographic for these shoes. And I can't remember the name of it.
Please send all emails to colderice.com.
What?
I'm
a marketing guy. There's segments.
I make no judgments. I make no judgments.
Birkenstock.
I can't pronounce it. I can't spell it.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
I think so.
Or something like that.
Anytime I got to put that much thought into saying, I'm not doing it. So
anyway, but I mean, they've had that issue. Pop Sockets had that issue. Nike told them to go to hell. So I mean, there's
okay. That's Nike. That's a little different. I mean,
I'm just saying, there's others that have done it. That's all.
Okay, I got you. I got you. All right. You know what tomorrow is, right?
Thursday.
Yeah, that's also true. But besides being Thursday, it is. What happened there? Oh, it is 30th? Earnings.
Oh, yeah. Their earnings tomorrow.
Yeah. So,
and everybody's like this.
Everybody is like expecting some serious blowout numbers.
Yeah.
If they don't happen,
they'll happen.
They have to be happy because people aren't this geeked up just by hoping. This is must be some serious numbers. which I think we should do a special show actually after that thing comes out, because
So we can do it on Friday.
yeah, maybe we should do that, because I think it's going to be really interesting. You know, all the stuff that we talked about, that they've, missteps and trying to fire people because they were protesting, and coronavirus taking over the warehouses and slow delivery.
Yeah, but that's not the numbers we're reporting now.
I know, but I'm just saying they had a lot of difficulty this quarter.
Not really.
Everything we just thought. They got the government, they got the president coming down on. I mean, they got a lot of stuff that usual quarters they don't have to face. So they faced a lot of stuff.
Well, I just we got to frame this though in the right way.
Go ahead and framer.
Okay, that the quarter is just 3 months.
Right.
So that would be January, February, March.
Right.
We only went on lockdown in the last 2 weeks of March, and they kind of fell apart a week after that. So there's only 1 week of Amazon chaos that they're really reporting.
I guess. When did this really hit?
This hit
at the end of February.
No, we had 15 cases and they were going to 0 at the end of. Don't play with me. You know I got my timeline.
No, I'm just saying. When my last trip, because everything started getting canceled the last week of February. Right. My last trip was like the first week of March, and I've been home ever since for the most part.
And then you remember, it's because here's the deal: everything went crazy when the NBA stopped. That's when it was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And but the country hadn't even shut down. So we didn't get March Madness, which was going to be the last 2 weeks of March.
Right.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. We didn't go into lockdown really until April.
But no, if you're talking about, I went into lockdown.
Right, me too. Yeah.
Like the first week of March.
Yeah, I was done.
So that's at least. I mean, I think that you're going to get some of that.
You'll get
that was 3 weeks
some of that. Yeah. I just think that more of that quote will be in second quarter earnings.
Right.
So
right.
So people right now, and that's kind of interesting because you know the last we'll talk about that, but the last 5 days the markets are going up, and it's like based on what?
Well, see, that's why I'm thinking there's going to be more to this than we think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because this is the first quarter of the year after, fourth quarter. Why would there be any huge expectations for the regular first quarter of the year?
Right.
I think there's some stuff that people have baked in because there was still 3 weeks in the month of March that some of this stuff started showing up. I think we'll see. I mean, it'll be fascinating to see what.
It will be fascinating. You know what? Honestly, though, if the numbers are really sky high and it's only containing 2 weeks of March, that's going to be pretty impressive too, and maybe an eyesight into what their second quarter could be like.
Well, I think also pay attention to the AWS revenues.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
But
again, 2 weeks.
Well, I'm saying, I think the AWS, that was a rocket anyway. It'll be interesting to see if that was even more of a component to the revenue. I'm saying
this quarter.
Yeah, it's although it seems like, that's all. The other thing too is they don't have. It's not like anything about the Jedi, project should have impacted the first quarter because, they were still trying to figure out how to get back in the game. They weren't in the game. I don't even know if they're in the game now, really. I mean, the contract hasn't been fulfilled yet, so maybe they're still in the game. But I don't even think it'll just be fascinating to see. I'm looking at AWS revenue, I'm looking at the digital marketing stuff because that's going to take a dive. Well, I don't know. Maybe it won't take a dive due to this stuff. What do you think? How does the pandemic change the digital ad stuff? I know traditional ad stuff.
I don't, here's the thing. I don't know. And again, that won't show up really this quarter. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I can't remember. I have to go back and see when they told everybody that they can't, once they went COVID, let's put it like this. There was Amazon, and then there's Amazon COVID. And Amazon COVID, I don't think started until April. And so that would be the time when the people would pull their money out of advertising because their products are not being shown anyway.
Yeah, I just don't understand why the big run up to this quarter's earnings, knowing that most of the COVID effect is not going to be involved.
Yeah, I don't think most people know.
How could they not know? I know these investors
are not the market.
I mean, but you're seeing financial institutions putting out buy and target pricing that is way up there.
Well, I mean, you do know that I talk to these guys all the time, right?
Who, you talk to Jeff?
No, not Jeff. These market analysts, these market guys and fund managers, they set up calls with Amazon sellers to get insight
on doing market checks.
Yes. So to get the insight. So they get on the phone and they talk with these guys for about an hour, ask question after question. Usually I can tell they've talked to others because they'll be like, oh, well, that's new, and 90% of the times the things that I say to them, they hadn't heard before. So I'm guaranteeing you that the things that they're hearing right now and making projections on is bad data. Nobody else is telling them, oh, dude, it didn't go to shit until, the last 2 weeks of March,
Yeah, that's true. But Ellen makes a good point. She said we couldn't send products in after March 17th.
March 17th.
That's a full 2 weeks.
That's what I said, 2 weeks in March.
I mean, just from that perspective, I think there was already impact before they made that decision. And then when they made that decision, that had to accelerate things.
That decision predates the actions that they took after. That was the first thing that we saw, period. And then it went public facing with the thing up top saying we're only handling COVID stuff and all that. Yeah, probably like a week or two later.
So think about it though. That's still a lot of time. So they're only selling essentials. So that should have some significant impact. Even just catching those last 2 or 3
over
weeks.
A quarter?
Well, when you think about it, there's 13 weeks in a quarter. And if I'm going to say 3 weeks out of 13, that's almost 25% of your quarter.
That's 2 weeks. How do you get 3 weeks out of March 17th?
Because that's when they started telling you guys not to ship anything else in.
Right, but that doesn't mean they weren't selling and fulfilling.
But what I'm saying is there was already impact of this shutdown talk before that. So I think it accelerated because of that, but it was still something going on before that happened.
Okay. So here we say their numbers will probably be up because during that time was the toilet paper rush.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was toilet paper rush time.
The great TP rush of March, 20.
Yeah, it was during that time before we got locked down. Everybody went cray on toilet paper, which I'm guessing now we'll probably see profits up based on that rush.
Wow, but that's just one product.
Toilet paper. It was every disinfectant, wipes, hand sanitizer, everything went crazy for 2-3 weeks, man. So
do you want to care to take a guess as to what you think is going to happen tomorrow?
I don't think there will be anything bad.
Do you think they're going to like blow away expectations?
The expectations have gotten so high.
They have gotten sky high.
Because you figure like this, they're always blowing away expectations, right? And now everybody's expecting them to blow away expectations. And so, yeah, they'll beat the street. Let's put it like that.
Just take a look at this chart.
Uh-huh.
Look at the stock prices.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, they are lapping the field.
Oh, my goodness.
That is an amazing statistic.
Yeah.
Everybody is bet. I mean, I can understand why there was a rush to Amazon, because just very high level thinking. You're like, well, if people can't go to the stores, they're going to have to buy everything online. And where are they going to go? Amazon. So I think that's a lot of that is baked into what we're seeing.
That's not insider trading there. I mean, it's obvious.
Right.
Let's buy Amazon stock.
But I'm saying the expectations are so incredibly high. Even if they blow away their earnings, they still might get killed if it's not in line with these crazy expectations.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing too. But I think they'll meet most of it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean,
I can't wait. Now you got me excited. I wasn't even that excited before.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I feel like new shoes should be playing. I can't wait.
That'll be cool.
All right.
Did he say new shoes?
I did say. I was wondering if you're gonna like own up to that, because you old enough to know what new shoes is. So don't try to front or anything like that.
Not saying anything, old man.
I'm sorry, dude.
Too much light, too much time in the sun for you.
Oh, come on. All right, so we talked. You got another one? Because
I don't know how long has it been on.
I got a thought. No, we got a couple more minutes. We started late.
We definitely have to just make mention of the Trump administration putting Amazon's on 4 sites on a notorious market list.
Once again, this is just nothing more than a vendetta.
Notorious marketplace. Come on, man.
This is catering and playing only to an audience of one.
That's just, man.
Is this? I know we can't get away from this, but is it just pure envy because he knows that he is nowhere near as successful as JB is?
I don't know, but I just want to tell the people one thing about this. The places that this goes out, the domains they've chosen are Canada, France, Germany, India, and the United Kingdom. I mean, wow, come on, man. I mean, if there is any playing field, I mean, Germany is Amazon's biggest offshore, right? And then after that, probably the UK and Canada. I mean, it's just, wow. I can't believe they would do that. Just insanity there, man.
Well,
but anyway, go back to what you're saying, because that was important.
No, I'm just
the motivation.
Yeah, I mean,
personal motivation.
And this, let's face it, this is not. It's not just a one-off, and it's not just a one-off towards Bezos. I don't want to get into politics, but I mean, he was already putting his guns to Biden, trying to like a preemptive strike with him. And so
it has nothing to do. I'm not going to say nothing to do with the fact that Bezos is way more successful, way smarter, really can manage
way more money
things,
way more money,
has way more money, all of those things. I think
owns the Washington Post.
That's the one. That's the one. It's all about the fact that he owns the Washington Post.
I think it's the fact that he owns the Washington Post, but he has never, at least it doesn't seem like he has ever done like a Charles Foster Kane move and try to dictate what the Washington Post should cover or what they should talk about.
No,
I
the
think
Washington Post said that they are literally autonomous.
that's what I'm saying. But the current resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, he would expect to be able to go, if this was his boy, like what was the guy David Pecker from the National Enquirer?
Right.
He would tell him,
what to put in, what to not. Yeah.
Right. See, he would be JB's best buddy.
Yeah.
If he could go to him and say, "Hey, you need to handle this."
Yeah.
And it got him, but he doesn't do that. And
he doesn't cow to him, so
doesn't get, because he doesn't have to, but see, he is always trying to do things specifically to mess them up.
I know, it's so weird.
And it's so obvious.
But it's weird. It's weird how facts, what's the word I want? Not fascinated, but fixated. He is on everything. It's like, oh, can it destroy Amazon? Let's do it.
I have never heard Bezos say anything directly about him, right? I mean,
you know what? I'm sure Jeff is like, you don't care.
I'm just tripping off it. I find it fascinating that it's so one-sided. And I don't see it happen. I mean, the U.S. Postal Service thing, this foreign list thing.
The government contract thing.
Oh, the Jedi thing. I mean,
it's just,
how could this happen? I mean, How could this actually happen in the United States where we have a president, or as I like to say, a current resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, who is so openly hostile to the one individual in his companies that he is threatening to put the U.S. Postal Service out? He's threatening, like, give the contract to somebody else, the Jedi contract. Hey, you foreign countries, you want to do business with us? You better stop doing stuff with I mean, it's.
Hey, not only that. You remember the press conference, right? Where he trotted out all
the big time CEOs were there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just every time that he finds a way.
It always comes back to that.
That's really weird. That's weird. I've never met anybody that was that petty. I know some petty ass people. But I have never seen anybody that messy and petty. Just petty.
Well, we went off on a tangent. I take full responsibility because
true, but it is very important business-wise when we're talking about it.
It is. I mean, I'm trying to think. Ever in the history of the United States has there been a president that was so obviously against a single entity / person? I can't think of anything like this.
I don't know people that are like that, not let alone presidents.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll ever see anything like this again. I hope we don't, because I don't think it's good to have a president, regardless of who the actual individual is, to be able to take shots like this at any one organization or one person.
Yeah, it's not good for business, especially in a capitalist society. We're supposed to be capitalists. That's so non-capitalist.
It really is. But here we are, and who knows how it'll turn out. I mean, he is the most powerful person in the universe, and he can do things that nobody else can do. So we'll see. I mean, I'm just wondering if Amazon just crushes it. I wonder if he'll respond in some way.
Nah.
I don't think he'll be able to contain himself. I don't.
Yeah, it'll manifest somewhere.
It'll come out in a tweet or something. Like if it's a blowout
somewhere.
If it's a blowout and everybody is talking about just, Amazon just killed it, he ain't. I just can't see him being able to contain himself in some way. It'll be interesting to see. I think we should definitely we should do a follow-up on Friday.
Can't wait.
We'll do that. That'll be fun. All right. Well, we spent enough time on that one. We beat that one up.
We beat that to death. What is your last piece?
Forget it, man. I mean,
you said it was important too. That's funny.
No. Oh, one thing I am curious about. I don't think we're going to find out anything about that in this earnings report, but with the pandemic and more people staying inside, sheltering in place and all that, I want to know if there has been a significant impact on people using Alexa, voice first devices. Have they, because they're on home and they're not as mobile as they usually are, has some of the activity and the communications and the things that people did with their mobile devices, has that transitioned in a significant way to using Echo devices or Google Home, whatever you want to call it?
Oh.
I would just like to know, since we are all cooped up more, is there more interaction? Is there more activity flowing through those devices as opposed to the traditional way that mobile was first? I just want to see. I would love to find out, and particularly if Amazon has seen anything. Is there an uptick in like using your voice to shop?
That would be interesting if there was an uptick. But another thing is, if there's not, that's interesting.
That tells us something too. If it's not as rapid as some behaviors have changed, like we talked about before, most people were not doing online grocery shopping, but man, did that turn overnight. So,
here's the thing. If you think about it, other than commands, device command, right? Turn on the light, play this song, things like that.
Yeah.
What else did you do with that device?
Well, I mean, actually, you can do a lot of things. I mean,
right, but now see what I'm going to say is most of the things you would do with it were things you would help your life outside of the house. So, like, what's the weather like? How's the traffic? Play this radio. It's like I don't really, because I'm thinking about myself. I don't talk to it as much as I used to.
That is actually a great point, because, like you said, a lot of those were meant to give you information for when you were out and about. And so, does that mean it goes down in significance because it was being used in conjunction with you going out? Or just like a lot of different behavior patterns have changed, has the change enabled you to use your devices more for things you do internally? That would be fascinating to find out, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if we will, but that would be really interesting.
That would be interesting, because I saw something the other day too. They were talking about radio and how radio stations are fast moving to get digital. Whereas before it was like, who cares? We'll but now their podcasts are moving up because they are like, people are home. They're not in the car listening to our station.
Right. I mean, I think people are probably listening to podcasts more. on their speakers.
Right. So maybe that's something they're doing more. And Ellen is saying she does reminders more. So,
it'll be nice to have some actual data on how behaviors have changed and has that impacted how people interact with these devices. Because let's say it's a positive uptick in some form or fashion. Well, guess what? That's another chip in Amazon's favor, because there's an article. Let me see if I can find this real quick. There was an article that came out that talked about how many people are using these devices now. Let's see if I can find that, because I was like, wow. It's really coming on. Here it is. Okay, yeah, here we go. I'm putting over here and give the whole screen view. So, wait a minute. Where is the article? Well, anyway.
Well, you know what?
Here's the.
There you go. Okay, what's that about?
Oh, all right. So that it won't let me just.
It won't let you show. Yeah,
I
you
would
need to figure that out.
Yeah, because there.
Sunlight in your eyes.
Oh, here it is. Facebook page. All right, let me do this. See if it'll let me. No, it won't even let me do that. Anyway, so what it says is nearly 90 million U.S. adults have smart speakers. Adoption now exceeds 1/3 of consumers. All right, so let's put it all together. There's more of these devices in the house. As a matter of fact, it would be really interesting to see how the sales of those devices were impacted by the pandemic. Were people buying more of these devices because they were going to be in the house and they wanted these devices? That's a nice data point. I would love to find out. Maybe if it's a big enough number, I'm sure Amazon will come out with that. They'll say,
you know what? I did buy more devices because we were in the house.
There it is. All right.
But so, I mean, it was like the thing I wanted to do, but it's like I'm on the road a lot. I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll get to it one day, but now all of a sudden we're in the house.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So that's a leading indicator. So the first step is more people buying more of these devices. The next step is, all right, how are they using them? What are they using them for? How often are they using them? So I have a strong suspicion that because of this pandemic, more people like you bought these devices, some that didn't have them before, some that had them but wanted more to cover more of their house.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first leap. The second leap is, okay, now that there's more of these devices in more houses, you know there's going to be an uptick in actual usage. That's just a given.
I just wanted music in every room.
That might be how it starts, you know, and that's typically how it starts. You get it for one reason, and then all of a sudden you start doing more and more with it. So let's just say that is the natural progression.
And now, really, my next thing is I want screens in every room.
There it is. Natural progression. So let's say that natural progression happens and it shows up. Well, guess who stands the best chance of benefiting from that?
Google?
Amazon. Google will too, but not as much as Amazon.
You know me. Google-fied.
But generally speaking, that could be a big change too. That I would love to be able to actually have hard data on.
That would be interesting. We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Well, we'll see the next time. We'll see maybe on Friday, because maybe we'll get some stats about what voice stuff happened in the first quarter of the year, along with all the other stuff that's coming out with these.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I actually am I'm getting a little jazzed about this.
I'm not. I'm just playing.
No, you're not. You're just an idiot. All right. Well, that's Watching Amazon for this Wednesday. We'll be back next Wednesday, but even before then, we will have a special show Friday.
Yeah, we're going to be back afterwards. So just make sure you subscribe. That way you get notified when we go live.
You know what I should do? I should put our pictures up. So people, I had that map while you were talking. So
what picture?
I had the map of that,
this little thing back and forth is driving me crazy.
Hey, this is a full-fledged production service.
Yeah, I know. But it should produce more on my face.
I got so many ways to go with that.
Yeah, let it go.
I'm just tired of
get you started at the end of the show, Roy.
Yeah, there's no point in starting. I'll just save my fire for Friday.
All right, dude. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us. Please subscribe so you get notified anytime we go live. Usually we're here Wednesdays, 1 o'clock, in the 1 o'clock hour, right? Usually 1:15-ish, but we'll be here. So come back at least for the lockdown times. That's what we're doing.
And we'll figure out what time on Friday we should do this. What time? We'll figure out. We'll let you know.
All right, guys.
All right. Until then, see you.